about to go down.
Burning your ears with another all-killer and no-filler episode of the best motorsports radio on the planet. It's the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. With your host, Jim Beaver.
Sliding trophy trucks, jumping razors, and dropping the mic at events across the country.
Amy Hood.
What's up, guys? I'm a professional fun haver, dirt bike rider, and monster truck driver.
With support from Polaris RZR, General Tire, Subaru, and Dirtfish. Hang on tight, strap in, and get ready to smoke some tires and lay some roost. Here's the man who carries a steering wheel in one hand and a mic in the other. Jim Beaver.
What is happening? Good morning. Welcome to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Jim Beaver coming out swinging here this week on a Tuesday morning. I know we've been jumping around between Tuesdays and Wednesdays lately. If you're listening nationally, it is always Saturdays and Sundays, but you online listeners, I know we've shaken it up a bit. I've been doing a lot of traveling, hitting up a bunch of events, and I got Vegas to Reno on the horizon, so I've been doing some stuff around my race program. But thank you guys for joining us. Got an awesome show today. Two guests. I know the past couple of weeks we've had three, we've had four cycle in there, but two guests mainly because they're really good guests, but we have what is a ton of news and rumors and I don't know, all kinds of ongoings in the world of motorsports that we got to hit up today. So I carved out some segments just so I can talk about some of the craziness that is currently happening in the world of motorsports. But as far as guest goes, we've got number one, Jared Mees on. He's going to be on in hour number two. He is your 2018 X Games Flat Track Gold medalist. Took home the gold, his second, which could be almost his third. We'll get into that, I'm sure, in this interview coming up in hour number two. But Jared Mees, the most dominant flat track rider in the country right now, dominating the American flat track scene. I think he's 9 wins in 11 rounds, something crazy like that. And then we've also got Ryan Beat, my General Tire teammate Ryan Beat, coming off a big win there at Lucas Oil up in Reno. So lots of great guests, lots of content, all of it coming at you today. We are going to take a short break, and then we're going to dive right into things right now, right here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on four wheels? The Polaris RZR brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris RZR because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team RZR because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris RZR because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRZR.com or follow at Polaris RZR on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RZRLife to share your story.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268-horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305-horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
It's more than just a slogan. Anywhere is possible with General Tire. General Tire's Grabber X3 Mud Terrain tire offers aggressive styling and is engineered for durability with innovative performance features that are ready to carry you through extreme mud, dirt, and rock-covered terrain. For extreme traction that's ready for anything and rugged styling to match, look no further than the Grabber X3 from General Tire. Make your anywhere possible by visiting GeneralTire.com today. General Tire, aggressive styling with the Down and Dirty Radio Show since 2012. Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle in Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount. When looking for a new wheel for your off-road vehicle, car, truck, or UTV, the choice is easy. You choose what the pros use. Rob McCachran, Keegan Kincaid, and myself, Jim Beaver, all exclusively use Vision Wheel, whether we're dominating Baja, taking the cup at Crandon, or shredding UTVs. Vision Wheel's trend-setting designs and durability will set you apart from the competition and your friends. Check out visionwheel.com or at Vision Wheel on social media to learn more.
Want the latest from Jim Beaver and Amy Hood? Follow at Jim Beaver 15 and at Amy Hood 71 on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
All right, we are back here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Man, you say that so often. We are episode number 346, and that doesn't even take into account like live shows that were in remote out at events, my stuff with Rally America Radio that we did through this RSS feed. That's just like weekly shows, 1 to 2 hours long. We've done 346 of them. So some weeks we've done, like at the Mint, man, we threw in extra shows there. UTV Worlds, Indy 500s, not counting Project Action. So we're approaching 100 on Project Action, by the way. It's actually going to hit within a week, 100th there, 350th here. So once again, man, hit me up with your ideas for guests. I've heard little inklings of Mr. Ken Block. Had a couple people hit me up on Twitter wanting Mr. KB back, and after his weekend, I don't know. He's got a lot to talk about. We'll talk about that in our Dirtfish Rally Report in hour number 2, but not a good weekend for Mr. Ken Block. Travis Pastrana, TP 199, I think it's definitely time to get him on. I don't know if anybody could have a year like Travis has had, and we're just talking like the last couple months, man. He just did the ARA rally, the stage rally. I think he took a podium there. He did, not World RX, the ARX round there at COTA the weekend before. He did, we can't even, we got to talk about, the jumps in Las Vegas that he did. Then right before that, he had done Pikes Peak, and he won his class at Pikes Peak. Literally, he has had 1 month here, literally 1 month that I don't think has been replicated any time in the history of motorsport. Like, Trav is just, the dude is on fire right now. I know I've texted him a few times, just some joking stuff, you know what I mean? It hadn't been anything serious, but it's time to get him back on. We're going to let him settle in, though. He's been on a bender like he had, it's funny. It's not like he's been doing all these media appearances. I think the guy has been so pinned, he just literally hasn't had time to breathe. So, I know I'm still due a trip there to Pastrana Land at some point, too. So, I don't know. Maybe we'll make all that happen later on this year. But we'll definitely, I'm hearing you about TP. I can't promise, anything soon just because that guy's been on a bender. Hopefully, and then they get, Nitro World Games coming up? I don't know the dates on that, but sometime later this year. So, definitely been a wild one for Mr. Travis Pastrana, that's for sure. So I hear those requests, and they are noted, and we will get them on. I can promise you sometime in the calendar year of 2018. Same for Mr. Block. We'll reach out to Ken and make something happen. But anybody else? I know, you guys, a lot of motocross riders. I haven't even talked much pro motocross this year, which we've been so busy with everything else. So I noted on that. I had somebody that's a NASCAR fan say Kevin Harvick. We've heard Robbie Gordon. All good ideas. Martin Truex is another one. We don't talk much NASCAR, but Truex is a rad personality. It'd be fun to get him on air. So I don't know. We got a lot of stuff to go through and weed through, but we'll start getting some of these personalities you guys are requesting on, I promise. But today it is Jared Mees, Ryan Beat, going to be a couple of fun ones here. But we're talking about episode number 346 of this show. We've got episode number 100 coming up with my other show, Project Action. I have decided to now drop, and this is one I haven't even teased out, but it's a daily show. That is right, and it's not a full-length show, but it's going to be called the Down and Dirty Show Daily Drop, and it's going to be premiering this Wednesday, which today is the Tuesday the 24th, if you're listening to this live online. Tomorrow, Wednesday the 25th, it will drop. It'll be the Down and Dirty Show Daily Drop, and what it's going to be is 3 to 5 minutes. That's it. It's a short daily, and all it is the hard-hitting news in the world of action motorsports. So 3 to 5 minutes, no guests, literally just me running through the quick headlines. We don't get to talk about headlines and news. We're going to do it today a lot, but we're a personality-driven show, but there's a lot of stuff out there. Nobody in motorsport is doing a daily quick hit with all the news headlines. Most of the major news outlets are doing it for, politics, U.S. news, all that other crap. Nobody's doing it for motorsport, so us, we fill the void. Down and Dirty Show Daily Drop coming at you tomorrow, Wednesday the 25th. It will be 3 to 4 times a week. We won't have a daily drop on the days that we have the national show, this big one you're listening to now. But we're going to try and do 3 to 4 a week. The easiest way, it's not like you're going to have to resubscribe to a new RSS feed. It'll be posted to my website. We're figuring out how we can do a 3 to 5 minute show on social media. Instagram, they've got a cap on length of videos and things like that. I know there's the new IGTV. I haven't really dabbled in that much. But we're going to try and do something there with it as well. Obviously it'll get posted to YouTube just like it always does. It'll just be the audio file to YouTube. My YouTube channel, I think it's just Jim Beaver. I don't know. Maybe it's Down and Dirty Show. Shouldn't be too hard to find if you search, but it will be posted there as well, and then Facebook video for sure. So, the easiest way, though, is the RSS feed, man, the Down and Dirty Show RSS feed that you guys have been subscribing to for years. Hit that, subscribe, and boom, it's going to get beamed right into your phone every single morning. So we're going to try and drop it sometime between 8 and 12 Pacific, 3 to 4 times a week. It's going to be the Down and Dirty Show Daily Drop. It's just quick-hitting news in the world of action motorsports. So definitely looking forward to that. Let me know your feedback, what you guys think after it drops, and it's something I've wanted to do for a while, and just decided, hey, why not? Let's pull the trigger on this bad boy and make it happen. So, such is the case. The Down and Dirty Show Daily Drop is launched. And speaking of news, I was going to jump into some X Games talk. And this segment's already running short because I went long on that. So we're going to hit up X Games after the break. We also be talking some Lucas, but Best in the Desert. This is one you off-road. I know we cover IndyCar in here, a little bit of NHRA drag racing, but a big, massive section of our audience is still off-road. And the 2019 Best in the Desert calendar has been launched. This is where you see the biggest and baddest in the sport of off-road compete in the desert, kicking things off. It's kind of similar to this year. The biggest notable is Pahrump. The end of the year has been whacked. So Pahrump no longer. It'll happen this year in 2018, but in 2019 that used to be called the Terriblestown 250. But the Pahrump 250, I think it's Pahrump Nugget 250 now or something. It is whacked. No longer in December. So the Laughlin Desert Classic will end things for Best in the Desert in October. So it kind of leaves a void at the end of the year. But you kick off the start of the year, January 11th, with the Parker 250. So I don't know, might be a good thing. Off season gets a little bit bigger now. Instead of 1 month, you've got 2.5, 3. So with the Baja 1000 mixed in there. Things kick off with the Parker 250 UTV and dirt bike only race, and you got Parker 425, my favorite races of the year. Then you got Mint 400 in March, UTV Worlds in April, Silver State 300, rad race that doesn't get a lot of pop just because of the date on the calendar, and it's surrounded by the Baja 500. That one's in May. Vegas to Reno, that one's coming up, but it's back next year. General Tire Vegas to Reno, August, right in smack dab middle of August, 14th through the 17th. I am preparing for that. I'll be racing that. I think drawings come out this week sometime. I'll get to know my start position, but Vegas to Reno coming up for me, and it's back on the calendar next year. And then, like I said, wrapping things up, Best in the Desert has Laughlin there in October to cap off 2018. So that's the Best in the Desert schedule. I know us off-road racers have been waiting for that. I know fans have too, because a lot of people, it's got to the point, especially with the Mint 400 UTV Worlds, people are planning their vacations. Parker, the one in January, people plan their vacations around that one as well. So I know people have been wanting to know when that schedule is going to drop. Boom, it's out there in the wild, and so now you can plan accordingly. So super excited about that. Stoked on the calendar, and it's going to be good. I don't know how many of those I'll be able to hit up, but probably at least 4 or 5 of them. So got some big plans regarding radio at events for next year, so watch this space. All right, we are going to take a short break here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show powered by Polaris Razor. When we come back, we will be talking X Games. We will be talking Lucas there at Reno. We've got a lot more coming at you here. Hour number 1 of the Down and Dirty Radio Show powered by Polaris Razor. Extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on 4 wheels? The Polaris Razor brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris Razor because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team Razor because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris Razor because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRazor.com or follow at Polaris Razor on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RazorLife to share your story. For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible. Are you looking for a place to push yourself behind the wheel and see how your driving skills stack up? Dirtfish Rally School is that place. Located on 315 acres of pristine automotive playground at the foot of the Cascade Mountains in Snoqualmie, Washington, right outside of Seattle, Dirtfish Rally School is a one-of-a-kind place where everyone from first-time drivers to seasoned professionals like Bucky Lassick and Antoine Lestage can push themselves to their limit. Whether driving the high-performance, rally-prepped all-wheel drive Subaru Impreza STI is what you're looking for, or you'd rather hang it all out in the rear-wheel drive Subaru BRZ, Dirtfish Rally School has something for everyone. Classes are available from 2 hours to 3 full days and feature instructors with over 150 years of combined racing experience. Whether you're looking to become the best and get an edge on the competition, or just looking to freshen your skills behind the wheel, Dirtfish Rally School is the place to go. For more information on registering for classes, visit Dirtfish on the web at dirtfish.com, or to check out the latest happenings from Dirtfish, follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dirtfish Rally. Hey, this is Jim Beaver, host of the Down and Dirty Radio Show. Getting down and dirty on the racetrack is all fun and games until it's time to get the dirt off. I know it all too well, which is why I've partnered with MotoShield Pro, the leaders in nanotechnology solutions on the racetrack and in off-road to combat mud and dirt buildup on my vehicles. MotoShield Pro keeps us from taking unnecessary damage and spending extra energy on cleaning. No matter the weather or the surface, having proper protection on all my vehicles saves me plenty of reprep time in a sport where every second counts. Prep your vehicle like a pro. Learn more at MotoShieldPro.com.
Thanks for tuning in to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, available live online, in syndication on networks across the U.S., and available internationally on the American Forces Network.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. I'm just trying to look and see, man, what we should hit up next. We got so damn much to talk about today. Trying to kind of figure all this out, but we do have some Lucas to talk about. We got some really cool stuff with the ESPN ESPYs. I don't know, maybe we'll shuffle the Lucas back. We got to talk X Games though. Jared Mees coming up in hour number 2, but we got to talk some X Games, and then we'll go from there. Let's say we'll go from there. This is very much a fluid show. I got this outline here in front of me. One page, literally, we do 2 hours of radio off of one page schedule or outline, and from then on, like literally, I'm shuffling stuff in and out, and I don't know, just talking about whatever the heck I feel like, because that is what makes the Down and Dirty Radio Show what it is. So, X Games happened this weekend. And, X Games, it's the curious case of the X Games, There for a while, I feel like it lost its way. It definitely has found its way back. They've packed everything into, they call it 4 days, but it's really just 3. They have kind of the vert finals to kick things off, which is funny because that used to be like the premier event, that's what made X Games X Games. That was Tony Hawk, the 900. Literally the defining moment of all of X Games through the history of time, Tony Hawk's 900. Prime time, I can't remember if it was Friday or Saturday night. It was in an overrun. It was best trick on the vert ramp. Literally, it had everyone in this country glued to their TV sets. I don't care if it was grandma. I don't care if it was, I don't care if it was grandpa. I don't care if it was your aunt, your uncle. Like, everybody was glued in that moment. You ask anybody, whether they're an action sports fan, a motorsports fan, or anything, tell me one X Games moment. 9 times out of 10, I don't care who they are, they're going to go Tony Hawk's 900. Boom. So, it's kind of weird that it's been shuffled like to the kickoff now to X Games instead of being, one of those defining one of those, defining events kind of in the middle. But I don't know, somebody at X Games definitely above my pay grade. They got it figured out. Maybe it's because they've lost some of the big personalities. I don't know. Bucky Lassick, got to give mad shout out to my boy Bucky, finishing 3rd in qualifying in vert. Didn't fare so well in the finals, but, qualify 3rd in vert, at his age. And not saying, Bucky, you're old, my man, but I'm just saying, like, props to you, man, doing it up. The timeless, the ageless Bucky Lassick. But we on Project Action, we'll dissect the results of all these other events, skateboarding, bikes, stuff like that. We just handle the motor stuff here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show. That's kind of been our thing. If you want the other results, you have to skip over to Project Action later this week. But looking at things, I guess, quote unquote, with an engine. I don't know. Is it just me? But I feel like I want rally cars back in X Games. I want Endurocross back in X Games. Like, there were some rad events with engines that we no longer have. I know Gymkhana Grid was there for a year, and it was radder than hell. But, I know, like KB had said, they're not going to do it unless they can do it right, and they just haven't been in a venue that has the proper area to do it since they were in L.A. But anyways, high air, Axel Hodges taking home the gold. Colby Raha, Tyler Berryman, 1, 2, and 3. Axel Hodges is a guy we need to get back on the show. Actually, back. I don't know. Did I interview him once before? I can't remember. I know Axel. I just can't remember if we had him on or not. It was 346 episodes. It does it to you. You just can't quite remember anymore. But Big Air. Oh, sorry, that was BMX Big Air. You don't want BMX Big Air. What am I talking about? Moto X Freestyle. Thomas Paget out of France taking the gold. Jacko Strong, Rob Adelberg finishing up in 3rd. Sheeny right on the outside looking in 4th. But Jacko, you want to talk about a dude that threw down in run number 1. I thought he was going to get the monkey off his back. He's got X Games golds, but not in freestyle. He's always had something that, took him out. I don't think he'd ever even finished a Moto X freestyle event, something crazy like that. But Jacko thought this dude was going to have it in the bag, and Thomas Paget, run number 2, pulled a rabbit out of his hat and knocked Jacko down to the 2nd spot. man, it was, and not to say that Paget doesn't deserve it, but man, it was a heartbreaker for Jacko, you know. So it eluded him that gold medal one more year in freestyle, you know. Just tough break. And then we go to step up, which this is actually one of the highest rated, as far as ratings go, events at X Games. It's been shuffled to the morning on Saturday, which is weird because this is an event that should be prime time Saturday night. But, you know, it's one of the highest rated ones. People understand it. They get it. It's just dudes hucking themselves at a bar trying to get over it. You don't have to educate people on what's actually happening. They understand. That's why it does so well. But looking at it, you know, my boy Ronnie Renner had a tough year last year, hurt his back. He ended up on the outside looking in, Rindog 38 feet. But these guys were sailing at over 40. I mean, anytime you approach 40, let's just put it this way. Higher is huge anyways, or step up. But just three guys over 40 feet. Crazy. Renner with 38, finished up in fourth. But Colby Raha, 41 feet, tied with Libor Podmal. Both of them 41 foot. Libor getting the silver, Colby with the bronze, and Jared McNeil, Mr. Golden McNeil there, 43 feet. Crazy, 43 feet. I think the record for step-up's like 47 feet, something like that. But Ryan Beat knows all these guys when we get him on in this next segment. We're going to talk dirt bikes with Beat. He used to ride, you know, freestyle now. We're going to jump into some dirt bikes. We're going to step out of the box here with Mr. Ryan Beat. But yeah, well, we've had Beat on enough. We can do that. Anyways, Moto X Best Whip. Big change up on this. It was always fan voting in the past. They threw that out the window this year, which I like. But this year it wasn't fan votes. It was actually a judged event. McNeil taking the gold, Watanabe silver, and Axel Hodges once again bronze medal there in Best Whip. So digging the fact that they. You know, that they made it a judged event. Fans, it always becomes a popularity contest and an Instagram contest. Who's got the most followers gets the most votes. And, you know, it's gone now. So thank goodness. Jacko Strong, though, taking the gold. Moto X Best Trick. Thomas Baget second. Adelberg third. And, man, you know, they were bringing it anytime Sheeny is in fourth on the outside looking in. Sheeny, like, that dude brings it all the time, and anytime he can't quite get over the hump, you know, it's you know, it was a tough competition. Okay, so Sunday flat track. Once again, Jared Mees, you know this. He's coming on the show today. He is there, your gold medal winner. Second time with a gold. He's got a silver to his name as well. Don't forget, very first year, 2015, a flat track. Mees leading by a long shot, broke a chain on the last lap, and it cost him the gold. Didn't even medal that year. He absolutely dominated the race. So there you go. That was flat track winner Jared Mees. Briar Bauman with a silver, Jake Johnson third. Sammy Halbert, last year's winner, finishing up in sixth. Another, you know, couple guys, Carver, Coolbith there in fourth and fifth. Guys that, you know, you normally look for to dominate. Big one, though, early on, having some issues and not making his way, you know, not qualifying in, basically, was having to pull out, was Brad Baker. So, you know, that's a guy that, you know, you expect to, the bullet, you know, run up front and, you know, kind of you switch things up all day long. You know, people expecting Baker to be in there, you know what I mean, and competing for a medal. And, you know, him having to withdraw early on definitely hurt things. Well, it hurt him, but made a lot of other people happy, right? There's one of the top dogs, boom, instantly gone. So, yeah, that's kind of your X Games results. I mean, X Games is the X Games, right? You know, I love it. You know, I've been watching since literally the very first X Games. I've tuned in every single year. I remember I used to record the X Games with VHS tape, you know, so I could watch them throughout the year and the highlights and stuff like that. And we're talking way before YouTube and social media and, geez, even the internet for that matter. It was in its infancy. You know, I used to, like I said, I'd tape record all these to VHS so I could rewatch watch them. Same thing with like, what was it, B3, the B3 contest way back in the day. Bikes, Blades, and Boards, B3. ESPN used to have that. I think Matt Hoffman was involved with it, and I used to tape record all those episodes too. And I remember the very first one ever that I saw was the one of Woodward, and it was like they had these wooden doubles for the first time, and it was like mind blown. It's like, whoa, am I actually watching this? Wooden ramp doubles. You can jump doubles on a BMX bike like that are wooden. What? So yeah, it's just interesting, and I know we're not talking racing here, but interesting how X Games has evolved, especially like with the park courses and things like that. I mean, it used to be this big, like, wooden ramp layout, with massive spines and box jumps and stuff. And now the park course is like this bowl, with like a box jump in the inside. And, it's definitely changed, morphed, evolved. Street courses have become very different as well. It's, very little transition. I don't know. It's just interesting, Same thing with dirt, you go back and I remember the first ever X Games dirt contest, literally is one jump and it was just basically a best trick. And now, you've got these runs. It got really extravagant there for a while, and those extravagant dirt courses are gone. Now it's just like 3 big hits, and now they've got a quarter pipe. I don't know that I'm kind of a dirt purist. Don't know that I like the quarter pipe in making these dirt guys do flares and stuff. To me, it's like, I don't know. I think it's a gimmick, but I don't know, So, that was X Games this year. It's in Minneapolis, at least one more year. I don't know what that contract looks like. I think it's at least one more year. I mean, I would love Flat Track to kind of get its own venue, a little bit bigger track. I would love them to bring in like rally cars. I don't think it's coming back, but like enduro cross would be awesome. Something like bring a little more flavor to it. It's been the same past couple years, the same exact events. I feel like they need to bring some flavor back of some sort. Wakeboarding would be great to see in X Games. Minnesota, it's massive there. So wake surfing maybe. I don't know. Lots they could do, but we're going to take a short break, come back. Ryan Beat here on the line on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. You want extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on 4 wheels? The Polaris RZR brings it to you, but you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris RZR because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team RZR because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris RZR because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRZR.com or follow at Polaris RZR on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RazorLife to share your story. Hey, this is Jim Beaver, host of the Down and Dirty Radio Show. Getting down and dirty on the racetrack is all fun and games until it's time to get the dirt off. I know it all too well, which is why I partnered with MotoShield Pro, the leaders in nanotechnology solutions on the racetrack and in off-road to combat mud and dirt buildup on my vehicles. MotoShield Pro keeps us from taking unnecessary damage and spending extra energy on cleaning. No matter the weather or the surface, having proper protection on all my vehicles saves me plenty of reprep time in a sport where every second counts. Prep your vehicle like a pro. Learn more at MotoShieldPro.com. Whether you're looking for a tire that balances high performance responsiveness and traction in wet and light snow conditions, excellent handling and traction in wet and dry conditions, or a summer performance tire designed with the driving enthusiast in mind, General Tire has you covered. From the all-new G-Max RS to the Grabber ATX, no matter what you drive, General Tire will get you where you're going. Learn more at GeneralTire.com. General Tire, cruising with the Down and Dirty Radio Show since 2012. Since 1970, KC Highlights has been designing and manufacturing performance lighting for off-road and motorsports, beginning with the legendary Daylighter up until today's revolutionary Flex, Pod, and Pro 6 lighting systems. KC Highlights offers a full line of halogen, HID, and LED lighting solutions for your off-road vehicle. Looking for the best quality lighting? Looking for the brand champions choose? You're looking for KC Highlights. Find out more information at kchighlights.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KC Highlights.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI. A 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
You're listening to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. All killer and no filler.
Welcome back here to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Waiting for my good friend Ryan Beat, General Tire teammate Ryan Beat, to call into the show. Should be here anytime soon. So X Games wrapping up. We had Lucas happening this past weekend up there in Reno, and it looks like a boom. As we say that, Ryan Beat calling into the show. How is everything going, Mr. Ryan Beat?
It's going ups and downs, you know. It can't be good without bad, right?
Yeah, it's hold on, man. It's getting a little let me reset something real quick. It was kind of like breaking up a bit. I don't know, something going on with the phone lines here. You there?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yeah, hold on. Let me give me like 30 seconds. Call back in. We're going to reset these phone lines. Something's going on, buddy. Hold on. So this is on me, not on you. So
No worries.
all right, call back in about 30 seconds.
Thanks.
All right.
Okay, bye.
All right, some odd reason we got our phone lines getting kind of crackly there, so we're going to try and reboot these things for Mr. Ryan B. And I don't know what the heck was going on. There we go. We got phone lines going on. Hopefully, things clear up here a hair when we get Ryan on the phone. If not, we will use our backup line. So that's just the way things are going to be today. So I don't know. Yeah, that was totally on me, man. Texting Ryan Beat as we speak. See, we are live here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, right? Hey, you there, Ryan?
Yes, sir.
Oh, dude, it's crystal clear now. I don't know what the heck happened there.
Perfect.
It was like, dude, it was like you were a robot voice or something. And I was like, this is on us. This isn't on Ryan. So, yeah. So I don't know what was going on, man. But, dude, before we talk about the win, I know you had some shenanigans happen at your shop, man. Give us the lowdown on this before we even get into things, because that's the most serious pressing thing as far as I'm concerned, man.
Yeah, unfortunately, while I was in Reno, my shop got broke into. Many of you know my shop is at my parents' house. On the lower part of their property is where I operate the race team out of. And somebody knew we were gone and went and decided they wanted what was in the garage. Luckily, we didn't have too much in the shop at the time because, we were at the race.
Yeah.
But they went in there and they stole one of my spare 604 Chevy 350 engines built by O'Grady. They went in there and sold a bunch of tires from, General Tires, a couple wheels, a ton of hand tools like impacts and sawzalls and drills, and a lot of fab stuff, a bunch of clamps for fab work, specialty bench fab work clamps, some lights. I had some Mocha lights stolen. I had some Bilstein shocks for my Razor stolen. So there's a lot of stuff, but, unfortunately, we can't, replace that stuff easily.
Yeah. Well, and, like, the sad thing is like, I mean, you're a guy, you're a blue-collar racer, man. I mean, it's not like you got endless deep pockets. Like, you've scraped to get everything you have, and, like, every last people go, oh, well, some stolen tools, that isn't a big deal. And I'm like, man, that impact gun's $250. This is that. I look at it, it all adds up, man, and it's not like you've got, $10 million in the bank just to write checks to go racing. Like, I'm looking at this going, man, this is a major hit to Ryan's budget,
Yeah, so when we end up finally totaling everything up, we ended up about $50,000 worth of stuff taken out of the garage between the motor and all the tools and parts and wheels and stuff like that. It's about $50,000 worth of stuff that went missing, which really sucks. I've worked endless hours over the past 6 years to get to the point where I'm at and have the type of tooling and stuff that we need in the garage to build my own chassis and work up to this point. And unfortunately, someone decided that they needed it more,
Yeah. Well, sad part is they knew where the shop is. They knew you were gone. It was like, it's got to be somebody that you know of at least. You know what I mean? That targeted it, and that's what bothers me about the whole thing.
Yeah, it's for sure someone we know. We have a couple leads. Luckily, they were dumb enough to leave fingerprints all over everything. So we got a good couple solid fingerprints over quite a few items, and like they used my engine hoist to lift the engine into their truck, so they left fingerprints all over that. They opened some boxes of brand new tooling from Chicago Pneumatic and left fingerprints all over those boxes and the insides of those boxes. And luckily, the neighbors have some security cameras that were able to capture a truck leaving. We know that it was more than one person that helped do this. They had to have been here for almost 2 hours. And then once they got done in the shop, somebody knew that my dirt bike was up in the garage of my parents' house, and they tried to break into the garage of my parents' house while my mom was in the house sleeping. So we think what happened is when they tried to break in to steal a dirt bike out of the garage, the dogs woke up and started barking, and it scared them off. So these people had some balls. They knew what they were doing for sure,
Yeah, dude, that's sad, especially on a weekend like that where you come off with a big win. It's like you want to celebrate, you can't because you're worried about this, and it's like I said. I mean, this is stuff that you're worried about because you got to get to the next round.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the next month for me is the busiest month of the year. I have Utah coming up, and then I leave straight from Utah into Crandon. So and I needed that motor for Crandon, so. It really kind of puts a damper on things that, we came off such a great week and we've worked so hard to get there, and unfortunately we're, at this point now,
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Well, talking about the win, I mean, you got some momentum. I know we tried having you on a couple weeks ago, and your phone literally bricked on you while you're on the line. Yeah. So we're rebooting this thing, trying again, man. But you're having a pretty solid year. I mean, going up there to Reno, taking a victory. I mean, Pro Light and and Lucas is. One of the hottest, highly contested classes. I mean, you guys have got a lot of momentum this year with a string of victories.
Yeah, we did a lot of testing during the off season with Bill Stein and General Tire, and really got the truck working good. I feel really good. It's been a long time coming. I've been in this class 6 years, and I started in this class as just a dirt bike rider. Really didn't know anything and had to learn everything about the chassis and setups and suspension and gears and converters. So it took me a little bit of time. We've always been a competitive threat, but we haven't been a consistent competitive threat. So now I kind of feel like it's finally starting to pay off and come full circle. We've put in the time, we've done the homework, and we got great partners and great people involved that it's starting to show, and I look forward to the next couple of years to seeing where it goes and, continuing this momentum.
Yeah, well, and you're a guy like we talked about. I mean, you're like me. Your race programs they got to run in the black, right? I mean, we just don't have a ton of money to make things, to just self fund our hobby, Yeah. But you as a guy, I mean, looking at Lucas, and I know we've got the merger now. You know what I mean? Where short course are unified. I know talking with the guys there at Lucas, they've got a plan for the next couple of years. I mean, and you're a guy that you're out there, you're winning. I mean, do you feel like that? Motorsports, the business case for motorsports is never an easy sell to anybody, but do you feel like for you in short course right now, it's especially with you winning, I mean, is it becoming a little bit easier to sell short course to a sponsor, so, because they know that, hey, we are going to get some ROI, whereas some other forms of motorsports, it's kind of a toss up?
I think at this point, this is the greatest thing that's happened to off-road in 15 years, right? So now that we have this merger, this exact second, everybody's kind of already sold. Budgets are already spent for this year. But going into next year and the next 3 years, next 5 years, I think it is the best thing that could have happened, and I think things are going to get a lot easier, being the fact that now it's one series. Now it's a nationwide deal. Now we have TV coverage nationwide. NASCAR's losing ratings. Sprint Car doesn't even really have a TV package. I mean, all these other forms of motorsports are kind of either dying or just barely getting along. where off-road is in the growing. We're constantly growing and growing the fan base, and as more people start to learn about it, you see every year when we go to these tracks, the fans become more and more, and there's more spectators at every event. So I truly think that this is something that's really good for the sport and is gonna prove to be something awesome for us.
Yeah, I agree. I'm definitely looking forward to the future. I know just Crandon, I've been lucky that Lucas brought me in to call the races for TV this year, and like going to every event, it's Pro 2 is really, really, hot in the Midwest right now, but Pro Light and Pro 4 are lacking. But you talk to every fan at every track, you know what I mean? It's like, we can't wait for Crandon, especially Pro Light. Like, Ryan Beat's coming back, and he's going to defend his thing. And it's funny because every track we've been to so far, you know what I mean? Like, you're one of the names that pops up. They know you're coming. Everybody's excited about it, man.
Yeah, I know. It's cool. It's, we went back there last year, and we were able to win, which was awesome and huge for me. I've never been to that track before. So we're going to go back again this year and try to have some fun. Win or lose, that place is the greatest racetrack I've ever been to. Has the greatest fans. So, win or lose, it's always a good time at Crandon. I'm excited to go back.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you back there. I think, this year, and then looking at next year with the 50th anniversary at Crandon, it's definitely going to be a big one. But that being said, dude, I gotta ask you, and this is totally out of the box, and I told everybody I was going to do it before you called in, but I know you come from a dirt bike background. You know a lot of these boys competing in X Games and stuff like that. I don't know if you were able to catch any of the X Games when you were, on the road there at Reno, dude, but the level of riding now, you're a guy who's been on a dirt bike. You can appreciate this, dude. Looking at freestyle and what guys like Jacko are doing and things like that, dude, can you even comprehend what these guys are pulling on bikes now?
No, it's not even comprehensible. Like, the level that things are at are so gnarly. It's almost unbelievable. You can't believe that somebody's flipping a dirt bike like the way they are, that many times, and it being that crazy. It's really unimaginable. I never thought I'd see this type of stuff going on with the dirt bike that they are now.
Yeah, it's just bananas, man. But I appreciate the time. We got to go to a break, Ryan. But always appreciate it for you calling into the show, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Look forward to seeing you again.
All right, sounds good. Thanks a lot, Ryan. Take it easy, my friend.
Take care.
All right, that was Ryan Beat. I know it seemed like they're towards the end, man. I don't know what's going on with the phone lines today. Got a little bit of robot voice. We're lucky that Jared Mees is pre-taped. I don't know. Phone lines just going a little bonkers there towards the end. I don't know. It's like they're going away or something. I don't know. Crazy. Maybe the weather's happening or something somewhere. But Ryan Beat, one of my favorite personalities, man. Winning on those General Tires, continues to just click off the W's there in Lucas Oil short course. And I got to tell you, man, this kid, you want to talk about big things in short course, the future, it is definitely bright for Ryan Beat. You got to love this guy, the way he continues to just grind and find sponsorship and take wins, and blue collar racer. And I mean that in the best possible way. But when you're a guy like Ryan Beat, you're a blue collar racer. The thing is that you have to win. Right? Like we talked about, he doesn't have a ton of money in the bank. He's got to sell sponsorship to continue to race, to continue to have a career. And the only way to do that is to win races. And he's doing that, and I think that's what's remarkable about what Ryan Beat's been able to accomplish, man. All the respect in the world for this dude, and he's doing it. Doesn't hurt. He's on General Tires, right? Definitely helping matters. But no, seriously, Ryan Beat, just a class act. And for whoever broke into his shop, I don't know if you're a listener to the show or not, but I'm assuming you are. Because we're all kind of one family, dude, that's just wrong, especially a guy like Beat. Not that thievery is good in any form, but seriously, man, Ryan Beat, he's gone to the races trying to make a living, and you go and you bust into his shop and steal his crap, you know what I mean? Like, dude, I mean, how low can you get? Like, I wish the absolute worst of all karmas on you at this point in time, because I hope they catch him. I hope they lock him up for a long time. It's one of those, too. You almost wish it was a Singapore thing, right? Where, you get caught stealing something to chop off your hand. Like, seriously, I'm to that point, especially in this situation. Like, that's one thing I can't respect at all is thieves. And for somebody to steal a racer stuff when he's out on the weekend trying to make a living, and you go and sneak into a shop and backdoor the deal and steal a bunch of stuff, wrong. Just wrong, man. So, that was Ryan Beat. Sorry for the robot voice there at the end. We'll get those phone lines cleaned up, but we're going to take a short break. We come back, more here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on four wheels? The Polaris Razor brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris Razor because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team Razor because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris Razor because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRazor.com or follow at Polaris Razor on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RazorLife to share your story. Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle in Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount. Hey, this is Jim Beaver, host of the Down and Dirty Radio Show. Getting down and dirty on the racetrack is all fun and games until it's time to get the dirt off. I know it all too well, which is why I partnered with MotoShield Pro, the leaders in nanotechnology solutions on the racetrack and in off-road to combat mud and dirt buildup on my vehicles. MotoShield Pro keeps us from taking unnecessary damage and spending extra energy on cleaning. No matter the weather or the surface, having proper protection on all my vehicles saves me plenty of reprep time in a sport where every second counts. Prep your vehicle like a pro. Learn more at MotoShieldPro.com. When looking for a new wheel for your off-road vehicle, car, truck, or UTV, the choice is easy. You choose what the pros use. Rob McCachran, Keegan Kincaid, and myself, Jim Beaver, all exclusively use Vision Wheel, whether we're dominating Baja, taking the cup at Crandon, or shredding UTVs. Vision Wheel's trend-setting designs and durability will set you apart from the competition and your friends. Check out VisionWheel.com or at Vision Wheel on social media to learn more.
Come to the island and rip it up this summer. Wakeboard Island. It's a skate park on water at Blue Water Resort and Casino. Check out the 2-tower cable system that pulls you and your board over the water. No boats to watch out for, no fumes. Wakeboard Island is open to all skill levels with an open center section for beginners. And for trick riders, a double side kicker in a 60-foot flat box. Wakeboard Island, the best ride this side of the Rockies. Adjacent to the River's Edge Cantina at Blue Water Resort and Casino on the Colorado River in Parker, Arizona.
Like what you hear? Catch all the back episodes of the Down and Dirty Radio Show on Apple Podcast, and be sure to rate, review, and subscribe.
And we are back here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Just wrapping up with Mr. Ryan Beat, General Tire driver, taking home the W there in Lucas Oil, a short course series there in the Midwest. But we come back, hour number 2. We have a lot coming at you. Jared Mees is going to be talking ESPN ESPYs, Dirtfish Rally Report. Got a lot of Lucas coverage to get to as well. So lots of stuff coming at you. Hour number 2. Before we get to that, though, make sure and check out our website, downanddirtyshow.com. We've been dropping a ton of written motorsports content. I think my boy Chris Leone has been doing like 12 like 10, 12 written pieces a week. Just some really good quality stuff. We got one coming out on Ryan Newman and the Eldora Dirt Track or Dirt Derby this week. He did an awesome piece on Steve Torrance a couple weeks ago. Definitely if you like written stuff, go and check it out. And don't forget the Down and Dirty Show Daily Drop coming at you starting Wednesday tomorrow. Coming at you tomorrow, Wednesday. Bringing you 3 to 5 minutes of all the motorsports news and quick hits. Easiest way to get that is going to be subscribed to RSS feed on iTunes, and you're going to get all those episodes beamed right to your phone every single morning, so you're up to date on everything that's happening in the world of motorsports every single day. So make sure and go over there to iTunes, subscribe to that, and check out our website. And don't forget Project Action, my other podcast that drops on Thursdays on the Podcast One Network and iTunes. Make sure and subscribe to that as well. As always, you can follow me, tweet me, Instagram me at JimBeaver15. But we're going to take a short break, and we come back in hour number 2. We got a Dirtfish Rally Report coming at you and a whole lot more on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. I'm Polaris rider Jim Beaver. I race trophy trucks professionally, host a Down and Dirty radio show, and also travel the country announcing motorsports events. I've seen it all, and trust me, I've done most of it, so when it comes time to relax on the weekend, nothing is better than taking time with my family in our Razor vehicles. They've got the reliability I need to just pick up and go explore the desert, dunes, or trail, and have the capability to attack even the harshest terrain. If you're looking for some of the most reliable and safest, and hands down most capable off-road machines in the world, look no further than Polaris and their award-winning lineup of Razor vehicles. Whether you want your daughter to experience off-road driving for the first time in a Razor 170 like me, take the entire family out in a Razor XP4 1000 on the weekend, or shred the desert and dunes in the all-new Razor XP 1000 Fox Edition, Polaris has you handled. Take my advice and join me and some of the best drivers in the world by driving a Polaris Razor. Check out the full Polaris Razor lineup at Polaris.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor.
Thanks for tuning in to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, available live online, in syndication on networks across the U.S., and available internationally on the American Forces Network.
And we are back here kicking off hour number 2 of the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Great. Hour number 1 had Ryan Beat there, talk some Best of the Desert, some X Games, a lot of X Games talk. Sorry once again. I know we had a little bit of robotic voice there with Ryan Beat towards the end of that interview, and I don't know, something going on wonky with the phone lines today. So, is what it is, man. We will try and get that all fixed up in time for next week. But this interview with Jared Mees coming up in hour number 2. I pre-taped yesterday on his way to the airport, after X Games. So sound quality will be A+ for that one. But thank you guys for tuning in like you do each and every week. Always appreciate you guys, all the kind words you say on social media. We have a lot of fun with this, but it's all about you guys. I want to know what you guys want to hear as far as motorsports content, guests, things like that. So your suggestions matter. I listen to them all. I read them all. Sometimes it takes me a while to get back to you on social media, but I accept DMs on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Instagram's probably the easiest one. I probably check that one the most often. Sometimes the Facebook one, I don't know, it's crazy. There's like a lot of spammers on Facebook, and my DMs, I get packed. I'll get like a dozen just crap DMs on Facebook. So I don't know. It takes me a while to weed through all those. But Instagram, I do check that one probably the most. I get some spam there, but it's easier to kind of flush it out, it seems like. We've got that show account too, at Down and Dirty Show. So make sure and check that one out. I know a lot of you, it's something we just kind of got going. So a lot of you follow me, which is great, but it's different content on the 2. We post up some rad photos and media type stuff on the Down and Dirty Show account. So stuff that's not just based around me, just in general stuff. So check that out. But hour number 2 coming up, we got a Dirtfish Rally Report. We got some Lucas results, a lot of motorsports news to get to. We got a funny soundbite with Danica Patrick. She was a host of the ESPYs. We're going to air that, talk about the ESPY Awards a bit. And I don't know, we got a lot of stuff coming up in hour number 2. Just Jared Mees interview, a whole lot more. So this is a big rally weekend too. So not very often you have two national stage rallies in the United States happening on the same weekend. One in Colorado, one in New England. It was a really, really big weekend for stage rally in the U.S. And not only that, Colorado had the UTVs. So we're going to be talking about that after the break here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. I'm Polaris rider Jim Beaver. I race trophy trucks professionally, host a Down and Dirty radio show, and also travel the country announcing motorsports events. I've seen it all, and trust me, I've done most of it. So when it comes time to relax on the weekend, nothing is better than taking time with my family in our Razor vehicles. They've got the reliability I need to just pick up and go explore the desert, dunes, or trail, and have the capability to attack even the harshest terrain. If you're looking for some of the most reliable and safest, and hands down most capable off-road machines in the world, look no further than Polaris and their award-winning lineup of Razor vehicles. Whether you want your daughter to experience off-road driving for the first time in a Razor 170 like me, take the entire family out in a Razor XP4 1000 on the weekend, or shred the desert and dunes in the all-new Razor XP 1000 Fox Edition, Polaris has you handled. Take my advice and join me and some of the best drivers in the world by driving a Polaris Razor. Check out the full Polaris Razor lineup at Polaris.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor. Anywhere is possible. It's more than just a slogan. Anywhere is possible with General Tire's wide variety of tires for whatever it is that you drive. Whether you're looking for off-road capability balanced with impressive on-road performance or ultra-high performance offering all-season traction designed with a driving enthusiast in mind, General Tire has what you need to get where you're going. General Tire, providing anywhere is possible with the Down and Dirty Radio Show since 2012.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI. A 268-horsepower, turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305-horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI. It's not a sibling rivalry. It's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle in Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount.
Come to the island and rip it up this summer. Wakeboard Island. It's a skate park on water at Blue Water Resort and Casino. Check out the 2-tower cable system that pulls you and your board over the water. No boats to watch out for, no fumes. Wakeboard Island is open to all skill levels with an open center section for beginners. And for trick riders, a double side kicker in a 60-foot flat box. Wakeboard Island, the best ride this side of the Rockies. Adjacent to the River's Edge Cantina at Blue Water Resort and Casino on the Colorado River in Parker, Arizona.
Like what you hear? Catch all the back episodes of the Down and Dirty Radio Show on Apple Podcast and be sure to rate, review, and subscribe.
All right, we're back here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Just wrapping up hour number 1. We're here in hour number 2 now, clicking off a second hour. We got, we got a lot to get to here in hour number 2. This segment kicking things off, we got our Dirtfish Rally Report for this week, brought to you by our good friends at Dirtfish Rally School. Find out more information on the web at www.dirtfish.com. You're looking for 15% off at Dirtfish Rally School. Use the code JBDirtfish on the website, and it'll net you 15% off any and all classes there at Dirtfish. And if you're wanting to go to Dirtfish, seriously though, I get people reach out to me all the time. I just had a trophy truck driver yesterday reach out to me, and he wants to go and take his son and his co-driver and his son and stuff like that. So like if you want to go and you can reach out to me on social media, use the contact form on my website. Like, I will put you in direct touch with Dirtfish as well. So if you just don't want to randomly go through their thing, like, I can put you in touch with the people there who can get things lined up for you. So you just let me know. I feel free. Like, seriously, like I said, don't feel free to DM me anytime you want on just about anything. So I'm always all ears and love to do stuff like that. So I can put you in touch with them. Just let me know. So our Dirtfish Rally Report. Wow. 2 rallies one weekend, 2 national rallies in one weekend. And what do you know? I pulled up there we go. I had the I had the results up and the website crashed that I had the results, but 2 national rallies one weekend. New England Forest Rally Colorado. We'll talk about NEFR first. Both of them big rallies. And both of them with different people. It's kind of interesting who runs Rally America and who runs ARA Rally. But Subaru Rally Team USA, big part of ARA. And so we're going to talk about that first. And I've actually been to New England Forest Rally twice, I think, now. This is one, if you pick one rally that you really want to go to, I would say Oregon Trail is one of them. New England Forest Rally is probably the other. Just an amazing place, good spectator areas. It's just a rad thing. It's there at Sunday River Resort, the same place they had Frozen Rush. It's just a beautiful facility. I really like it, and that area of the country is gorgeous. So, up there, Maine, Maine, New Hampshire, that whole area is just absolutely gorgeous. So you can't go wrong. But anyways, David Higgins taking the victory. Jeff Seahorn, second. Mr. Travis Pastrana having some issues, actually having a 10-minute penalty, finishing in third on the national podium. Seamus Burke, Corey Crossman rounding out your top 5. Got to give a shout-out, though, to the number 430 car of Lucy Block. That would be Mr. Ken Block's wife. She finished up third on the national two-wheel drive podium. So overall two-wheel drive podium, Lucy Block finishing in third. You know what? There's not only one Block in the family that can drive. Miss Lucy, solid effort there. So big shout out to Lucy Block. It's funny because a couple of years ago at New England, she's done this rally a few times. I went and interviewed her. She so did not want to be interviewed. I think it was a 2-minute interview. And we ended up talking more about, I think, her car because her kids had stickered it and kind of painted it. But it was funny. But Lucy, she's an amazing person. She's got a rad, kind of like an organic grocery store, like pack lunch type of thing going on in Park City, Utah. I think it's called Element. So if you're in Park City, go and check that out. But Lucy Block, she's rad. She lets Ken go out, have all this fun, but girl can slay when she gets behind the wheel. So big shout out to Lucy Block with that. But speaking of the Block family, Ken Block, he's got that Block Escort Cosworth. I think it's #Block Escort Kazi, maybe something like that. I don't know. Or can't remember quite what the name of it is, but So Ken Block and Alex Gelsomino, beautiful vintage rally car. I think it took the national podium I believe, at Oregon Trail earlier this year. But anyways, this car, Block and Alex Gelsomino, I guess there was some kind of mechanical failure going into a corner. And I don't know what the mechanical failure was, but it caused the car to roll. And it wasn't like this crazy crash. I mean, they went over. But the car, literally, like you can see on the in-car, Ken posted it. We've got it at the Down and Dirty Show Instagram feed. Posted it. The car went over, and instantly, like literally as it finished rolling, it was already engulfed in flames, like the engine compartment. Block and Gelsomino, both okay. Bail out of the car. Block, being Ken Block, he actually, you can see the GoPro. It's funny, Ken Block, his first instinct after a rollover isn't, oh man, am I all right? Am I bleeding? Like, I got to get out of this car. But before he does that, he reaches up and grabs the GoPro and gets out. Like, if it would have been me, dude, that GoPro would have melted. It would have been up in smoke. I would have been out the door. Ken Block, the dude is a marketing genius, right? He knows that's money in the bank on that GoPro. He reaches up, grabs the GoPro as the car is, literally melting away, and gets out. But it makes for some amazing footage that's now all over the internet, gone viral. But Ken Block saving the GoPro, but the sad news is one of the most beautiful vintage rally cars I've ever seen is now literally a complete and total loss. I mean, there is not one thing salvageable at all on that car, period. Very, very, very sad. Ken's got another one, though, that he bought, and I think they used it for some kind of like for the livery drop, I think. So he's got another Cosworth there, Escort Cosworth. So I'm wondering if he's going to rebuild that one. But just a sad deal for that car to go up in smoke. I mean, it's just a beautiful, beautiful car. That was kind of some of the news coming out of New England Forest Rally. We also had the other national championship event, Rally Colorado, happening there in Rangeley, Colorado. This is one that was a national championship event, I think, way back in SCCA days. Went away, and now it is back. And this one, had a pretty solid entry list, but it was Tad Rigsby taking the victory, Steve Biss and Jerry Kendall finishing up 1, 2, and 3 on the podium there. Two-wheel drive winner was Roger Matthews. So big shout out to them. I'm just looking down. My boy Peter Fatella is one of my favorite, rally drivers. I'm just looking down. I know Peter Fatella, he DNF'd, but he's got that beautiful Ford Fiesta that they brought over from Europe. Always a threat. I think he won overall at Snowdrift a couple years ago. I was up there and just absolutely ecstatic. But I love Peter. He's just a class act, solid dude. But other big news was the UTVs were racing at Rally Colorado. Reese Millen, Steph Verdier, were a couple of the big notables. I know it was rumored Tanner Faust might be going up there. He didn't make it, but there was a handful of UTVs that went up there and competed. It looks like it was definitely a tough break for most all the UTVs there. I know this is something new, bringing UTVs into stage rally. They've been running at Idaho for a couple years now and things like that. But, bringing them into stage rally. And I know Tad Rigsby there, he was in a Can-Am, I mentioned on the overall, but I'm kind of confused on how all this works. I know that, there's, I don't know. With the way they've integrated them into rally, specifically Rally America, they're trailering them between stages. They're scoring them separately. Like, I don't know. I'm one, like, I want this thing to just be full integration. Literally, you can have a R5 Fiesta mixed in with a Polaris Turbo. I'm for full integration. I don't like this trailering between stages. I think, if you're going to run UTVs, you just run them and you only do them in the states where they can actually transit on the highways, right? That's just the way I feel about it. I think that they should just transit, on the highways in the states that they're legal, like in Arizona, and there's some other states where they are, and you only run them in those states. I think this trailering them's garbage, and I'm sorry, I got lots of friends at Rally America, just me venting here. But I think if you're going to run them, you got to do it right, and it's an apples to apples comparison. I think a lot of the stage rally people with their cars, the traditionalists, they don't like it, because basically they're threatened by UTVs. And I think rightfully so. UTVs, can take overall wins, maybe not against David Higgins, but 90% of the field. So, I think there's that. So I don't know. I mean, this is just me kind of rambling on here, but, UTVs were at Rally Colorado. Props to Rally America for bringing them in, integrating them, and I'm waiting for the full integration. You know what I mean? They're still kind of the redheaded stepchild, and I'm waiting for them not to be treated as such by some of the promoters. But I think it's a learning experience, and we'll figure it out as time goes on. But we got to take a short break. We come back. We're going to be talking ESP and ESPYs and some other motorsports news on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. want extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on four wheels? The Polaris RZR brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris RZR because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team RZR because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris RZR because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRZR.com or follow at Polaris RZR on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RazorLife to share your story. It's more than just a slogan. Anywhere is possible with General Tire. General Tire's Grabber X3 mud terrain tire offers aggressive styling and is engineered for durability with innovative performance features that are ready to carry you through extreme mud, dirt, and rock-covered terrain. For extreme traction that's ready for anything and rugged styling to match, look no further than the Grabber X3 from General Tire. Make your anywhere possible by visiting GeneralTire.com today. General Tire, aggressive styling with the Down and Dirty Radio Show since 2012. Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle in Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry. It's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Hey, this is Jim Beaver, host of the Down and Dirty Radio Show. Getting down and dirty on the racetrack is all fun and games until it's time to get the dirt off. I know it all too well, which is why I partnered with MotoShield Pro, the leaders in nanotechnology solutions on the racetrack and in off-road to combat mud and dirt buildup on my vehicles. MotoShield Pro keeps us from taking unnecessary damage and spending extra energy on cleaning. No matter the weather or the surface, having proper protection on all my vehicles saves me plenty of reprep time in a sport where every second counts. Prep your vehicle like a pro. Learn more at MotoShieldPro.com.
Thanks for tuning in to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, available live online in syndication on networks across the U.S. and available internationally on the American Forces Network.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Jim Beaver here, and before we went to the break, I was in a bit of a rant there on UTVs and rally, and I don't want anybody to take that wrong. Massive supporter, lots of respect for what Rally Americas did. They extended the olive branch. I know NASA's had some UTVs in a few of their events in the past, but extended the olive branch. Brought them in. I guess part of me just knows how fast these things can be. I've seen what they do in the desert. I think that the rally community, and I'm talking the purists, they don't understand what a race bred, I don't think they understand that my desert UTV, I have 3 times the amount of money in it that most of these guys do into their stage rally car. And I don't think that they understand how fast that they are and how fast they can be. And I think, I think once they start seeing those speeds and they start seeing these Polaris RZRs and, Can-Ams, Yamahas, whatever, destroying times that have existed for a long time and destroying 90% of the field, I think it's going to open their eyes, and I think that's where I'm at. And I understand that it's a learning process for them. Guys in the desert are still learning because, UTVs for a long time were called golf carts. But I think in stage rally, it's going to be a learning experience. But I want an apples to apples, comparison. I don't want this transition trailers and all this other stuff. There's got to be a way to do it right. And I'm not saying it's being done wrong now. I'm just saying I think that there's a way we can fully integrate these and have an apples to apples comparison, and not, hey, let's start them at the back, start them at, after the sweep. No, like if you're Reese Milne and you're in a UTV, and you show up to, say, an event where David Higgins is competing and your times are good, man, you start right up at the front, right behind David Higgins. Like, that's what I want to see with UTVs and stage rally eventually, and hopefully we'll get there. So enough on the UTVs and stage rally. That's just kind of my feelings on things, but I wanted to clarify things. But yeah, so one of the biggest nights in sports happened this past week. We're not going to talk too far in depth. I know we kind of previewed the ESPYs, the action sports, and in the best driver awards. I think that there was a few best driver candidates. I think that ESPN phoned it in for the best driver candidates. Louis Hamilton, you just throw him in there because you're going to give it the token Formula One guy. Brittany Force. Mad respect to Brittany. She should be there. But if Brittany Force is there, I feel like Steve Torrance should have been there as well. So there's that. NASCAR, Truex, absolutely. Newgarden was in there, absolutely. I think there's some other guys that could have been tossed in there in the IndyCar circle, because the ESPYs is weird because it encompasses half of one year, half of the other. So you can't just go off of last year's results. Will Powers had a good year. I know, he's... but I don't know. That's just that NASCAR. I think Kevin Harvick, his name should have been in contention, and here I'm going to bat for a NASCAR guy, right? But Truex absolutely, hands down, deserves the win. I had a phenomenal year last year. We'll talk about Truex because there was some news, but talking about the ESPYs. So Danica Patrick was your host, right? And it's weird here because I've been critical of Danica Patrick, but at the same time, I'm a fan. I love that she's stepping out of the box. She, with her retirement, she's got all these opportunities. She did the Nickelodeon thing. I think she got slimed. She's doing the ESPYs, but like her personality, it's funny because we're seeing her try and, I don't know, she's been so aggressive and so alpha for so many years. Like seeing the Danica Patrick we've got now, like she's trying to be funny and humble and relate. And like her opening monologue, it's on ESPN's YouTube. It's already got 500,000 views. It's 8 minutes long, but there was one where she's poking fun at herself, and I just went like, we'll let it run for a minute. But it was just like there was some cringe-worthy moments in this opening monologue. But here is Danica Patrick at the ESPYs, and this is her kind of talking about herself and comparing herself to Tiger Woods.
But we all have bad days. Speaking of, Tiger Woods is back. Sort of, I guess. I mean, why do people keep talking about this guy when he isn't winning? Who does he think he is? Me?
So yeah, that was Patrick's version of humor. It's funny because a lot of her jokes were funny. I watched the whole 7 minutes. They were, but it was like the delivery. Like she just like. The charisma thing, like, I don't know, like her sense of humor, it just didn't play to the monologue. I think if they were delivered by somebody else, it would have been a lot funnier, but I don't know. Big respect for Danica Patrick to get up in front of a crowd of the best athletes in the world, put yourself out there to be funny. Like, I know the internet is kind of assassinating her at the moment, but like, I know how hard it is to get up on stage and do that. Like, props to Danica Patrick for doing that. Her jokes were funny. I think, obviously the delivery could use some work. But it's not an easy thing to do that. So big credit to her. But talking about that, I know, we just mentioned Martin Truex getting the best driver ESPY. The funny thing is he gets the best driver ESPY. He wins a championship last year in NASCAR, and now 5 Hour Energy, one of his main sponsors, is pulling out after 2018. And it makes you wonder, we've talked about the struggles of NASCAR in the past. I mean, Ryan Beat hit on it. NASCAR ratings are in the tank, in the toilet. Everybody knows that. But seriously, you got your champ who just won an ESPY, and then he loses his main sponsor, one of his main sponsors. Like, dude, like if there's one guy you want to be behind in NASCAR right now, it's Martin Truex. Like, if you can't sell Martin Truex, like, wow, this is a problem. And this isn't on Truex. This isn't on his team. This is on NASCAR as a whole. Like, this is a dude that had to have people banging on the door, literally pounding on the door, knocking it down to sponsor him, and he's losing sponsors. Like, dude, this is not faring well for NASCAR in the long term. And, I've called it gimmick racing. And, they've slapped so much stuff onto their literally just slapped so much stuff onto their product with the chase, playoffs, stage racing. Like, I don't know. To me, it's like people are so lost. You just can't go in and say, all right, first guy to, go the fastest over 200 laps wins. And at the end of the year, the guy that's done the best, over those, however many how many races they have, way too many in NASCAR at this point. I think that's a big thing. They need to cut it by 10 races. But, like whoever, has the most points at the end of the year wins. Like now it's, I don't know, it's not always, it's like I said, there's a bunch of gimmicks slapped on and it's made things complicated. IndyCar, they don't do it. And you know what? Ratings are up. They're having great championship hunts, great racing, close, tight racing. Like, seriously, IndyCar's got it figured out. NASCAR, go back to the roots, man. I think it's definitely going to solve a lot of problems. So there is news. And, see, this is the type of stuff we're going to talk about in the Daily Drop when it comes out next week. But I want to mention, because it's got a couple of my friends there, Don Schumacher Racing and their entire team, all 7 drivers, have pledged their brains to the Concussion Legacy Foundation. Basically, all 7 drivers for Don Schumacher have, when they pass away, they're giving their brains to help, find, basically research CTE, which, Dave Mira, close friend of mine, we've talked about him a lot on the show the past few years. We lost him. He was an auto racer and an action sports guy. Kevin Robinson is another one. We can go down the list of athletes and things like that, but I think race car drivers is the next big spot where we're going to start seeing CTE, because the helmets that they used to race in 15, 20 years ago weren't good. And the walls were hard hits. They didn't have safer barriers. There was a lot of concussions, a lot of guys driving through concussions and things like that, and I think that's going to be the next big area CTE hits in the next couple of years. So, Leah Pritchett, Antron Brown, we had Hagan, Caps, the entire Tony Schumacher, the entire, literally the entire driver roster for Don Schumacher Racing, have done this and pledged to donate their brains. And I think massive respect to not only the drivers, but DSR for, kind of organizing this. I'm sure they had a lot to do with it, but definitely good stuff, and makes you think, you know what I mean? And that was some big news coming out of NHRA. And not only that, but we got to give a shout out to our good friend Leah Pritchett there for Don Schumacher Racing, taking the victory in Top Fuel over the weekend. We had Leah Pritchett on, 6-8 weeks ago. I can't remember. She's also on Project Action, but you can skip back, listen to that. It was definitely a good one. Worth the listen, absolutely. So make sure and catch that one when you get a chance. So, but she won this weekend, so, good on her. Congrats to DSR for yet another victory. But my boy Steve Torrance, he is tending to run away with things in Top Fuel right now. So watch his space. It's going to be a good battle here to the finish this year for sure. But when we come back, we have an interview with X Games gold medalist in flat track, 2 times gold medalist, and a silver medalist, Jared Mees. That's going to be coming up after the break. I think you guys are really going to enjoy this interview. So definitely hang tight, listen to that one. And I will be on Twitter, while this airs. So if you guys want to chat me up, let me know at JimBeaver15. And we'll be back after this on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on 4 wheels? The Polaris Razor brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris Razor because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team Razor because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris RZR because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRZR.com or follow at Polaris RZR on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RazorLife to share your story.
Life is all about sound. The sound of sports. The sound at the racetrack. And the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
When looking for a new wheel for your off-road vehicle, car, truck, or UTV, the choice is easy. You choose what the pros use. Rob McCachran, Keegan Kincaid, and myself, Jim Beaver, all exclusively use Vision Wheel, whether we're dominating Baja, taking the cup at Crandon, or shredding UTVs. Vision Wheel's trend-setting designs and durability will set you apart from the competition and your friends. Check out VisionWheel.com or at Vision Wheel on social media to learn more. Since 1970, KC Highlights has been designing and manufacturing performance lighting for off-road and motorsports, beginning with the legendary Daylighter up until today's revolutionary Flex, Pod, and Pro 6 lighting systems. KC Highlights offers a full line of halogen, HID, and LED lighting solutions for your off-road vehicle. Looking for the best quality lighting? Looking for the brand champions choose? You're looking for KC Highlights. Find out more information at kchighlights.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KC Highlights.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Like what you hear? Catch all the back episodes of the Down and Dirty Radio Show on Apple Podcast, and be sure to rate, review, and subscribe.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Jim Beaver here, welcoming X Games gold medalist, and I guess in a roundabout way, my Polaris teammate, and I don't know, we're fishing here, but Indian Wrecking Crew member Jared Mees on the gold medal at X Games. How's everything going, my friend?
Oh, great, man. Anytime you win a gold medal, the next few days seem to go by like a breeze, right?
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, this is number 2, but I got to go back a couple years because this, I guess I say it's number 3, even though you don't have the hardware to prove it. But, you know, I guess it's a little bit different rolling out of X Games with gold around your neck than, what was it, 15, where you had the thing licked and then on the last lap you had a mechanical, right?
Yeah, I mean, still after 2 gold medals, I still, that one still leaves a bitter taste in my mouth, let me say. You know, the first guy to, you know, potentially be the first gold medalist, and it was right there in my hands, and it's not. But yeah, like you said, it's technically not mine, so I got 2 gold medals, free and clear, so that still feels pretty good.
Yeah, is there a point like after that, you know, after the first year too? Because I know, you know, flat track's become a staple at X Games now, but after the first year, you always wonder, like, hey, did I miss my chance? I mean, is flat track, is it going to be a one and done? Is it going to come back next year? Did I blow it? I mean, and then it comes back. I mean, do you have a chip on your shoulder, a little bit of a chip on your shoulder after that? It's like, I got to nail this one down.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, you basically said it. You know, you sometimes you might only get that one opportunity to ever get anything like that done, and you never know what the future could bring, an injury, or they don't have it anymore, or it gets rained out, or whatever the case could be. So when I left the first X Games and did not have the gold medal, it was like a goal right then and there to come back the next year and get it done. I mean, it was like I wanted that more than the championship. It was like the most wanted thing for me that entire year. And then to come back and have the mindset to get it done and win it, it was just so rewarding, man. It was just like, it's like, man, I trained the day after that X Games to the next X Games every day just to have that feeling, and I got it. So that was probably one of the most rewarding things that I ever done was, put some focus on and be able to achieve that. So it felt good. And then the following year after that, we got a silver last year, and then we were able to come back and do the gold. So this year's race was a little bit different. Very, very small track. It definitely is the smallest track that I've ever competed on a twin motorcycle. And it was inside the U.S. Bank Stadium, and it was very tiny. The track was actually built the night before the event, so we had no time to practice or prepare or anything. And it's not like we have any notes on something that small even for ourselves. So trying to figure it out in a very short period of time was tough.
Yeah, and that was, that was one thing I was going to ask. I mean, that track looking in it, I don't want to say I'm a flat track expert by any means, but I watch a substantial amount, on live stream and things like that. And I've ridden lots of dirt bikes, never a flat track bike, but I got to wonder, I mean, coming into something like that, I mean, you guys are running at, some of the best facilities in the country, for flat track. Then you come to X Games, this premier event, you've got the gold medal on the line, and you guys show up, and it's like, it's a track that was built overnight. It's so small. I mean, how do you adjust your game plan for something like that? Because I mean, I looked at it in the racing. I mean, it immediately went to single line and very, very little passing. I mean, you got a pass done, really early on in the race, and were able to, snag the gold. But I mean, that's got to be a tough environment to compete in.
Yeah, I mean, the preparation for that was very small for me. I was able to try to find a little track back at home and make a few laps on it. But even when I got to X Games, it was even smaller than what I was trying to get prepared for, which was very shocking because I thought what I was preparing on was small enough. But, I mean, X Games, in my opinion, I think if a brand new fan was to come to X Games and watch the event, it definitely doesn't really showcase what flat track racing is at its best. I mean, to most flat track fans and most people who say and hear the word flat track, they think of a mile or a half mile, circuit. So that was very, very small. More than anything, it's a televised event. It's more about the television, and it's X Games. I mean, they got to throw some sort of twist in it, or it would just be, an event that was the same as everything. That's the thing with X Games. You have the big air, and you have the high jump contest. I mean, there's some things there that you never see in anywhere else but X Games. So they got to throw a little bit of twist into it, and it's the same for everybody, and it's tough to get a grasp on the racetrack, and a really, really good start helps things out a lot, especially when the track gets drier and way more one line. But heck, it was just an honor to be able to fight for a gold medal.
Well, now here we are a few years into, flat track at X Games. And, I mean, how is this for you? Because you've become that guy. I mean, you look at, say, skateboarding, and you got, your Monster Energy teammate there, Nigel Houston, who, he's the guy, right? You look at Step Up, and it's Ronnie Renner. You've got all these different disciplines. There's that one guy that everybody knows, hey, if we're going to beat him, we got to bring the A game. Well, now looking at X Games and flat track, you're that guy. I mean, how does that feel for you going in to be like, hey, I'm the guy. I'm the most accomplished medalist here. I've got the target on my back. I mean, how is it to be, 4 years in now being, you're the guy?
Yeah, I mean, fortunately, majority of the people that are invited to the X Games to race X Games flat track are the guys that I'm racing with week in and week out on the American flat track side of things. And even an American flat track, Nate, right now, I guess you could say I have the big target on my back. I'm, the current number one points leader and current number one last year's champion. So the target remains on my back, it seems like, whether it's X Games or American flat track. And I guess it's just something that you mentally are able to overcome and try to block everything away and try to take every race one by one and try to make it happen. And so far this year, we've been able to do that. So X Games always puts a little bit added pressure and twist to things because of the racetrack. And, I grew up on that indoor stuff like that bumping and bagging and have, went there and been the fastest guy in practice and the fastest guy in the heat race, and then, have one little tiny mistake and you're sitting on the truck watching the main event. So, the famous saying is sometimes the fastest guys have to watch the main because of a mistake or you go in the first corner and stall it. So there's so much stuff that could be possibly out of your control. A guy falls in front of you. A guy comes in and knocks you down. So it's indoor racing at its best, and sometimes it can make you or break you.
Yeah, well, you mentioned there, about this year's standings. That's something we got to talk about because I think you say current points leader. You were a little bit humbling right there when you said it because I'll say it. I mean, nine wins in 11 rounds. I think you finished second on one of them. I mean, you're not just the points leader. You're dominating this year. I mean, what leads to that? I mean, you had a heck of a year last year. I think 10 wins. Through all 18 rounds. I mean, we're here. You've almost got your win total, and we're about halfway through the season. I mean, what has happened in 2018, man? I mean, you guys are just on a mission.
I wish I could put my finger on it. That way I could put my finger on it again if I ever ventured off of it. But I don't know. I mean, I think we're just we have a really good regimen at home and schedule that I follow, and I have a great team that really helps me put the wins on the board as well. And we all communicate well, and we all do our jobs, and we show up with the focus and the mindset of winning the race. And when we get that race done, whether it's a win or a second or whatever, we move on to the next and just focus on one race at a time. And I think that's all you can do. And so far we've been having a great year, as you said. Last year was amazing. I actually thought, coming into this year, hey, the job is to get the number one plate free and clear, whether it's a 1-point win or a 100-point win. And I'll admit, I didn't really think I could overcome last year's season as far as wins and consistency. But so far, we're 11 rounds in, and we got 7 more to go, I believe, and we're already ahead of that. So hopefully we can keep the momentum going and pull off some more wins and get the championship dialed.
Yeah, well, and let's talk a little bit about Indian, because obviously you're doing this on an Indian motorcycle, and I know I kind of, I've interviewed you a couple times now. I know we've, talked about Indian before. I met you at the dealer show. I was representing Polaris. You were there last year on the Indian side of things. I mean, but Indian had a massive footprint at that dealer show. I mean, they've got a flat track bike, anybody can go and buy, I guess. I think they only made like 50 of them, and I think, but Indian, I mean, just as a brand, I mean, I see what they're doing in flat track with, with the Indian Wrecking Crew. Just as a brand and marketing, I mean, what they did with Pastrana, a couple weeks ago in Vegas on an Indian. I mean, how has it been you working with Indian and not only that, but on the flat track side of things, your race bikes are just dominating.
Yeah, it's been great, actually. I was, I started off being the test rider for the FTR Indian Scout, and then, quickly realized that this bike's going to be very good. And, we signed a 2-year deal for 2017 and 18. And in 2017, no one knew really what to expect. I had, I was pretty optimistic. I knew the bike was going to be really good. And so they hired 3 riders, Brad Baker, Brian Smith, and myself. And, we went out there and dominated the podium a few times. And Brian got some wins. And Brad had a lot of podiums. We had 10 wins last year. So quickly everybody thought, oh, yeah, got to have an Indian, and so they sold, and it seems like now majority of the field is made up of Indians. Actually, I should say the majority of the main event is made up of Indians, and it seems like every weekend we show up, there's another guy switching from their brand to an Indian. So it just goes to show you that Indian did their homework, and arguably you could say that they have the best flat track motorcycle that ever was developed. And certainly for today's modern technology. So it's been an honor to be on the, I guess to be the face with Indian and flat track racing. They were away from racing for a long time, and the way they came back and wanted to dominate, I believe they're achieving that and really making the other manufacturers step up and realize that you have to take this game serious like Indian did. So it's like once again I said, it's an honor to be a part of the program, and I really enjoy the people to a long career with them.
Well, in talking about AMA flat track as a whole, before we let you go, but, I know there was, flat track it rode this huge wave years ago, and then it kind of went away, and now we're on this huge wave. And, flat track, everywhere you turn in the motorcycle industry, people are talking about it. You guys, the media package is getting better. It's in X Games. They're starting to run, all kinds of advertising with the riders and the athletes involved. How do you feel about the health of AMA flat track right now and where it's headed in the next couple of years?
Yes, American flat track is really turned the corner and is now on the upswing versus the downswing. And I don't know exactly what you could say and how and why it's on its way up, but I think it's just so many little things that are adding up. Rossi, Mark Marquez, the great Nicky Hayes, they all use flat track racing as part of a training regimen for the racing. Three of the best motorcycle racers ever are using this form of motorsports as a training, and they're talking about it on their social media. And yes, the X Games has really, took things in the right direction. Troy Bayliss over there in Australia, he was really big into flat track and got back into it. The manufacturers, I really think India Motorcycle coming in with their bike really just created a lot of buzz. They purposely built an engine and a motorcycle designed just for flat track racing. So that made people go, well, why? Why is this? And a lot of focus went on to that. The NBC Sports package with on television has been very good, and it's showing increased numbers every viewing. So social media, there's so many things of why flat track is going the right direction. I'm just happy to be a part of it and see it finally going in the right direction, because I felt like when I came into the sport, it was basically at its rock bottom, and we all used to say, well, back in the day, and man, I really believe right now flat track is as good, if not better, than it's ever been, and I still think there's a long way that it can go.
Flat track is definitely riding a big wave right now. Thanks to Jared Mees for calling into the show, and we'll be back after this on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. You want extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on four wheels? The Polaris RZR brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris RZR because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team RZR because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris RZR because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRZR.com or follow at Polaris RZR on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RazorLife to share your story.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle in Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount. When looking for a new wheel for your off-road vehicle, car, truck, or UTV, the choice is easy. You choose what the pros use. Rob McCachran, Keegan Kincaid, and myself, Jim Beaver, all exclusively use Vision Wheel, whether we're dominating Baja, taking the cup at Crandon, or shredding UTVs. Vision Wheel's trend-setting designs and durability will set you apart from the competition and your friends. Check out visionwheel.com or at Vision Wheel on social media to learn more. For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Thanks for tuning in to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, available live online, in syndication on networks across the U.S., and available internationally on the American Forces Network.
Welcome back here to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Wrapping things up. Big thanks to Ryan Beat, Jared Mees for calling into the show. Thanks to all of you guys for tuning in each and every week. Don't forget, starting tomorrow, Wednesday, July 25th, we are going to start our Down and Dirty Show daily drop. So easiest way to get that, it'll be on social media and such, but you need to go and subscribe on iTunes. Subscribe to Down and Dirty Show on iTunes. You're going to get not only this show, but you're going to get the daily drop weekly and any future shows we get, plus all our live remote shows and everything else. Easiest way to get everything, all the audio content we drop through the Down and Dirty Show is just to go right there to iTunes and subscribe, and you'll start getting that daily drop starting tomorrow. So thank you guys once again. Thanks to Polaris Razor, General Tire, Subaru, Vision Wheel, Casey Allites, Gibson Exhaust, Dirtfish, Impact, Optimus, Terracross, the Blue Water Resort and Casino, and our friends at Moto Shield Pro. We got a awesome piece on Moto Shield Pro coming to the website, so make sure this week on Eldora and I guess the only NASCAR race on dirt. So make sure and head over there. Check it out, downanddirtyshow.com. I am at JimBeaver15 on all forms of social media, and we've also got at Down and Dirty Show on Instagram. Make sure and check all those out. Subscribe on iTunes once again, and the coupon code for 15% off any and all classes at Dirtfish Rally School is JB Dirtfish. So make sure and get in on that. Be safe. As always, game on, and we'll see you next week right here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor.